Like I got a workout just from watching that game. Let's go back to Christian and David. Guys, the way this game started was our first clue that this was going to be a shootout.
Man, I tell you what, I'm exhausted just from watching those highlights again. That was like 5 minutes of highlights.
I just burnt like 2,000 calories for Jamal. I bet he's glad he came back, right?
Man, what a night by Jamal. But it all started up front with his BYU offense. And how about Ty Detmer dialing up a deep bomb on the first play to Jonah Trinnaman, who up to this point has really been non-existent. Right. You know, non-existent in the offense, but we knew he had speed coming into the season, and finally get a ball.
And this is something they script, right? They plan and game plan over and over. But what do you see here, right? You see Juergens motion out to tip off to Taysom. Hey, I got man-to-man coverage. Okay, for Jonah, he doesn't even have to run. He can just run to space and distance because he already knows that, and the rest is history.
It was a free release. The nickel was playing inside leverage, so yeah, you're right. Jonah had a free release down the field. And when you have speed like Jonah Trinnaman and you have a nickel who's playing 5 yards off, I'm going to give that battle to Jonah every time.
And that was his only reception for a touchdown, but you need to get him involved in the offense, and you could see right there quickly, Taysom had time to deliver, and it was a perfect throw. But kicking over to the defensive struggles, right? You gave up a ton of yards, what, over 600 plus?
Yeah, almost 700 yards.
Yep. Yeah, but you come up with a victory, and you've got a brand new corner, and let's kind of look at this in a little more depth of Wilcox and why this took place.
Well, you're going to see Kai Nakua's going to come down into the box, and we're not quite sure what defense they're running. It looks like almost like they're playing cover 3 with thirds with Wilcox up top, but I'm not sure if it could be man-to-man with Nakua coming down to play the wing. Regardless, what happens is Wilcox gets beat. And what I don't love here is he dives for the receiver's legs. You've got to secure the tackle, catch up to him, don't panic, catch up to him, wrap him up with your right hand, and try to punch the ball out. But instead, he panics a little bit and dives. And this is one of those issues with BYU's defense right now. Troy Warner with a hurt hamstring. You've got a lot of guys rotating, a lot of inexperienced guys. Chris Wilcox is a true freshman. Yeah. So it's just been tough. And, of course, you're facing a Toledo team that was number 6 in the country in total offense. And Woodside, the quarterback, knew how to throw that rock.
This is exactly what Kalani said, right? These are the plays they capitalize on when you had Kai Nakua coming up. But this guy, holy smokes, 5 touchdowns. Okay, come on, are you serious? I can't be that cheesy, right? 286 yards, 5 touchdowns. But let's look at this in a little more depth for people to see how this is happening.
Well, Jamal mentioned in his post-game press conference, hey, I have to give it to my big boys up front. And here you see blocks downfield. You're going to see a great job by both the right guard and right tackle. Tijon Karoma's on the ground cutting guys. And then you've got guys down the field, Show making big blocks, Trinnaman making blocks. I mean, this was a true team effort offensively. And here's another touchdown run.
But he showed me that he's got another gear, right? He's been slowed up and nicked up, but he's got speed. He's been hitting these lanes. Like you say, he's been giving himself a little more time and letting the holes develop. But his offensive line created lanes. You can see he's not touched until he's almost in the end zone. But Jamal Williams, credit to him, credit to his offensive line. BYU, a much-needed win at all costs, came down to the very final plays. You know, even Toledo got that 2-point conversion, right?
How that happened? The ball falls on the ground, he picks it up and throws a dime on dive.
What a killer game.
That looks like an NFL running back to me. I mean, he's got that burst, he's got the strength, but he's also got the speed in the open field.
Well, he mentioned his post-game press conference, listen, I'm waiting, I'm more patient. I'm waiting for those holes to open up. And when you've got that offensive line blocking like that, you can be patient because your offensive line is changing that line of scrimmage to 2 to 3 yards down the field. They're getting a great push so far. And it's fun to see this offensive line develop because coming into the season, they had some question marks in those first few games. But Coach MP down there at BYU is doing a great job developing those young guys and kind of making this big, nice, cohesive unit.
Doesn't hurt him that he's in a pro-style offense to really translate to the next level. And for me, it's been the burst. Does he have the burst to play at the next level? And this game showed me that he can do it at the next level.